Hi everyone, in this video I want to talk about squats and kind of the future that I have planned as far as my programming goes with them. And the big change, or I guess it's not really a big change, but the one thing that I do want to add into my programming is the implementation of more low bar squatting. And so I did some low, like a 5 reps with like 225 last week of low bar squats, and they felt really weird, and it makes perfect sense because it's not a completely foreign movement, even if I haven't done it for a while, but it is something I haven't done in a while, so the exact feel of it was just kind of off for me. So it's something I want to implement more just so I can get good at the movement itself. Obviously I think high bar squats and beltless squats and all that stuff is good and has allowed me to kind of build my strength and to really work on getting stronger through my sticking point and just building my quads up with it. But I still want to get good at the movement. So tentatively what I would like to do is to add an additional day of squat, well, not an additional day, but change one of my days of squats to a low bar squatting day. So I would have a high bar squatting day, front squat, and then a low bar squatting day. And I don't want to just immediately just throw it in and have, you know, whatever weights that I want to use for that, but I kind of want to ease it in. And the way that I want to do that is to add low bar squats in for I guess more or less volume work or drop sets with my main sets. So basically do all my high bar stuff, drop down the weight, and then do some reps with the low bar movement with it, and just kind of gradually increase the volume that I'm doing with the low bar to the point where I have an extra day with that. And then of course as I get closer to the meet, then my high bar day would turn into a low bar day, and then I would have 2 low bar days, or perhaps 3, and then it would taper down to 2 or 1 as I get closer to the meet. So I just essentially want to do the movement more because I want to get good at the actual movement. I don't think it's going to take that long for me to reacclimate to the movement with it. So it's and as I reacclimate to it, it's something that I really want to focus on just having as perfect form as I can be. And it's this kind of it may sound weird, but I think it's a really good time for me to really mess around with the form with my low bar squat, since it's going to feel weird anyway if I make any sort of changes. It's not like I'm throwing myself off in my training, because it will be with lighter weights and lower reps and different things like that, and it's not the critical part of my squat training. So at this time it would be very useful if any of you have any critique or thoughts about the form that I put up on it, and I will make an effort to record all the low bar stuff that I do, and I plan to do some tomorrow when I squat, so I'll put that in this video, and perhaps you've already seen it in this video, but I'll do an effort to record from the side and from the front so you can see the differences with that. And I think that's the 2 really critical angles as far as squats go. If there's a different angle that any of you want to see, I can always try to get that, unless it's from above. That's going to be pretty impossible to get, but I can really get those 2 angles, and I'll make an effort to get all my low bar squats in the videos, because I don't really think there's too much to say about my high bar squats. It's essentially just trying to stay more upright and putting all the strain in my quads and trying to keep my back out of the movement as much as I can, since I really want to work on building my baby quads up with the high bar and beltless squats with that. So yeah, so that's about it that I have to talk about as far as squatting goes. And yeah, if you have any thoughts about that, leave those down below. The other thing that I want to mention, I think I'm getting close, not just because of this channel, but because of the social commentary channel that I have as well, and not even from really the videos that I make on those. I had a couple that have a lot of views just because I think they're like Bernie Sanders videos, and one was like a magician that came to my school. Just kind of like random videos that do well on there, but I do decent, I guess, with some of my daily-ish kind of videos on there. But anywho, I'm way off track there, but I'm getting close to the next $100 threshold as far as YouTube revenue, and that may seem like a lot, but when you have a couple videos with tens of thousands of views, it kind of nickels and dimes a little bit quicker than anything that I post on here. But I do want to thank anyone that views on here, because while I don't make a ton of money on here, I've made, you know, $20 or $30 on here. That contributes to that threshold and allows me to get to that $100 more. And something that I think I plan on using that $100 for is a program I use at school called MobiMax, and if any of you are curious about the program itself, I can put a link to it down below or give you information about that. But essentially it's just an academic resource that I use, and I had the full version for a while during a trial version of it at the beginning of the school year, and then it ran out, so now I just have the free version of it. And the full version I really liked, because as far, if any of you don't know much about special ed, you have IEPs and IEP goals with them, and so each student has specific goals. And the cool thing with that program is that you could put, say it was to work on fractions, and obviously it's more in depth than that, but say their goal is to like do multiplication of fractions and reduce or whatever it may be. I can put that goal in for that student, and then just it tracks and it allows you to get stuff for that goal, or to, you know, it basically does everything that you would want an online program to do. It's hard to really describe because I don't have the most intimate knowledge of it, because I only had it for that trial run with it. But with the online program, it's actually $99 for a year subscription, but for me, it just seems really worth it because the kids really enjoy going. It's good, for them to go on the computers to get the practice of it. They really enjoy going on the computers. It's easy for me in the sense where I don't have to print stuff out. I don't have to like beg them to do the work, and I can see all the information, the time that they spent on, if they're off task, how many questions they answered, what they answered for each specific question. I can see all that information with it. And with the subscription, or whatever, the $99 for the year, you just get a lot more of that ability to see different things. And with it, I'm just kind of limited of what I can do on there, and I want to use it more because it's really useful data, and it's all aligned with the different standards that we have with it, and it's a really neat thing. So I appreciate, and that's why I wanted to bring it up, is that I really appreciate anyone that views my videos and has interacted in any sort of way and helped this channel grow at all. Because one, it's nice to post videos and to have some sort of interaction on them and feel like I'm just not just talking to myself in these videos, but to have people that are actually seem like they're a little bit interested in the things that I'm doing and the progress that I'm trying to make and the goals that I have as far as fitness stuff goes. And I just want you all to know that even, you know, all that little bit helps me get to that threshold and allows me to get these kind of neat things like this. And the nice thing with the YouTube money is that I'm not making a lot, you know, I'm not making enough to anywhere significant. I think with this $100, it will be the second $100, so I've made about $200, I think, with it. I know I've hit the threshold once. I think this will be my second time hitting that threshold. If you don't know anything about Google AdSense money, is you have to break $100 to get any money from YouTube, and then every time you hit $100, they pay you whatever that is. So for me, since I make nickels and dimes on my videos, it takes a while for me to get up to that point, and it takes a couple months. It took me a while. I think it was like, I could even give you a guesstimate of when it happened last year, but that was the first time last year when I hit that threshold. And it's mostly from my other channel, but this one, it definitely helps, because I made, you know, $20, $30 or whatever on this channel, just from you all watching the video and whatever with the ads and stuff. So I really appreciate that, and I can't really express that enough. And if any of you, I kind of talked about education stuff, but if any of you are interested about the things that I would spend with the AdSense money, or whatever ad money I can get, I can talk about that more. But essentially, my long-term goals with whatever I do on YouTube is to, you know, buy stuff that can help me in my job, or stuff that makes my life a little bit more convenient as far as my teaching stuff goes. And, you know, that would be like the MobiMax subscription thing. You know, that would be something that I would like to buy every year that I teach with it. So that's it's $100 every year, and that's a lot of money of mine to put every year with a subscription. But if, like, you all are essentially, you know, donating with your time and views and whatnot, that can, you know, make my job a little bit easier, and make the students that I have enjoy school a little bit more, with being able to use that program a little bit more with that. But the other thing is, and this is obviously if I would get more ad revenue and grow and whatnot, which hopefully I will as I progress in my YouTube career, I guess you could call it. But I would like to be able to use the money that I get from YouTube to put it all into either my camera stuff or just fitness stuff, to pay for meets, to buy equipment, to do different things, to just reinvest into my fitness stuff. And I don't ever envision myself making like a living off YouTube, but just anything that helps me get closer to my fitness goals, or help me with teaching or whatever with that is, would be the ultimate thing. Because, you know, if I make, you know, $200 a year, that pays for that MobiMax, and, you know, pays for a meet that I want to do. And that's wonderful, because then that's more money than I have for myself, for my job that I'm earning, that I'm not just spending. I'm actually getting something out of this. And to me, that kind of motivates me to kind of be consistent with that. And I would be lying if I said the money didn't motivate me, even if it's very little. But I think the biggest thing, because I don't make enough to where I'd be highly motivated just based on that, but I get really motivated just with the interactions and the conversations that I have, whether it's on my videos or any of yours, and I really do appreciate them. Reiterate that again, and I really do appreciate that, because it really makes this whole process worth it. Because when I'm rendering or editing a video, my eyes are just kind of watering because I've been staring at a screen for too long. I just think like, well, I get this out and people are actually kind of care about what I do, at least a little bit. I think maybe I think too highly of myself, but I try not to. I try not to take myself too seriously. But I'm sorry this video kind of went off the rails. If you made it this far, then you're probably one of my favorite people, and I don't know, comment down below big booty, because that's what some of the that's what the 6th graders told me they called me today. So if you put big booty down below, I know you made it to the end of this video. And I will end on this note. If you are all curious about various stories that I have, obviously I can't get into too much details as far as my teaching, but if you'd be interested in that, it may be fit more on my other channel, but I can always link to videos I make on there. But if you're interested about teaching stories and different things like that, I could perhaps think about doing that in the future. It may have to be stuff that happened a while ago, but I don't know if any of you would be interested in hearing about the various shenanigans that I've gone through in my short teaching career. But if it is, it's something I could look into doing a little bit more. But anywho, if you have any thoughts or comments about anything I mentioned, I know I went all over the place in this video, and it was supposed to be a form-focused video, but I jumped on several different rails, and I went all over the place. There's no other way to put it. So let me know what you think about the various things down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.